welcome to Angel Monday, this beautiful Monday morning in Australia. It's Monday the 5th of September and I'm bringing through the angel messages for the week ahead. Monday the 5th all the way through till next Monday the 12th of September. We're using two decks of cards. We're calling on the Archangels this week to bring us through guidance and to help us to have a peaceful, inspiring, prosperous week. So I can't wait to share the messages with you. And after that, if you want to stick around for an angel chat, we're going to talk about the art of surrender. Like when things are really piling up on you, what to do and how the angels can help you. And I'm also going to talk about light workers. What kind of light worker are you and what the word light worker means. So we'll start with the reading today as everybody comes in. Hi everyone, it's so lovely to see you. If you haven't been here before, my name is Rachel Skoltok. I'm an angel medium. I've been doing this work for 20 years as a professional. I'm also a teacher for light workers. I help you to discover and uncover your spiritual gifts, open those psychic and intuitive channels so that you can communicate with your angels by yourself. You don't need me or another intermediary to get those messages. And also I help you to build your spiritual business, to attract clients, to know what to do, to set those boundaries, and to create a successful, fulfilling life, living your purpose. So I'm excited to join with you today. Ironing. That's not your purpose, Natalie. You need to outsource. Hello. Oh, morning. That's a very strange typo. All right, so this week, we're going to start the week by calling on Archangel Michael. I don't know about you, but there's been some real frazzling energy vibes around. I think as Mercury retrograde is coming in, there's other planets in retrograde at the moment. It's quite an intense time. So Archangel Michael is the beautiful archangel to call on whenever you feel vulnerable, you feel like fearful, anxious, you've got big work to do, maybe you've got a big week or you've got big projects to get off the ground. He's the angel of life purpose, but he's also the angel of protection, and he will protect you from harmful energies and from danger and physical harm as well. And we're also going to call on Archangel Gabriel, who is the angel also of life purpose, funnily enough. It can help you with your career and getting your message out there. And also Gabriel helps us with parenting, looking after children, getting pregnant, calling on Gabrielle anytime you need help with babies, pregnancy and children. But as I said before, she or he, they don't have a gender really, angels, can really help you with getting your message. So if you're writing a letter, writing a card, you're sending a message, or you're writing copy for your business, Archangel Gabriel is the angel to call on. I call on her all the time. So Archangel Michael, Archangel Gabriel, thank you for giving us clear, meaningful messages this week that we can use to heighten our vibration and have a positive week. So I'm asking for guidance, and I always imagine the angels coming down and standing with us and sending the message through me to you. That's what I do every time I do a reading. So we're using angel wisdom cards this week, the tarot deck by Radley Valentine, and also I've got an Archangel Michael deck because I'm really feeling the need for that Archangel Michael energy at the moment. Is that what you're feeling too? Yes? Okay, let me know where you're from in the comments, like where you're watching from. I love to know. And if this slightly later time works for you as well. Since I've moved house, I've really struggled to because the time zone has changed, to keep up the time. So I'm experimenting with new times. All right, so Archangel Michael, thank you so much. I'm going to pull out 4 cards, and we're going to pull an extra card from the Archangel Michael deck. Now, when Archangel Michael comes in, his energy is very strong, and he's probably the loudest of all the angels. So if you're looking for some personal guidance, he's a great angel to call on for that reason. And we're actually working with him this month in the monthly Archangel Attunement. So we're working with Archangel Michael, Archangel Gabriel, and it's a 90-minute Zoom session where we bring in their energies, we do clearing and healing and then we bring through the guidance. So the first card for this week, the 5th of September, is the 10 of Cups. Look at this one. Beautiful card. Now this, there's abundance in this card. There's a feeling of peace, family, harmony. It's about emotional fulfillment and about really parts of your life falling into place. And even though the angels are telling me, even though it might feel chaotic at the moment, it might feel stressful, actually everything is falling into place beautifully for you. You have to stay focused on your goals and intentions. But this is saying that this week is focusing on your emotional well-being, family, security, creating harmony, and creating this beautiful foundation through which you can thrive and create abundance. Archangel Jophiel is the angel that helps us to tune our thoughts to positive rather than negative. So if the negative energy's been bothering you at the moment, call on those archangels to clear the cords of negativity and pull other people's negativity away from you. Sometimes that's harder to deal with than your own. When you're dealing with other people's problems and it feels like they're dropping them on you, you've got to remember, it's not your job, unless you're a therapist or a counselor, and even then, it's not your job to sort through the emotional lives of other people. You have to lighten your load, and you can hand those problems and those stresses over to the angels. But you can also shield yourself so that you're not absorbing the stress and pain of other people. That's important, especially if you're working with people regularly or encountering people through your work. Now, isn't this interesting? I started this reading off by talking about surrender. The angels really wanted me to talk about surrender today, and this is the card. This is the block. It seems to me that you are holding things too tightly. Other people's problems, your own stresses, anything that you're worried about in the future, even your own exciting things, maybe you're going traveling, maybe you've got other projects on the go that you're excited about, but you're actually stressing about them, and that's impacting your manifesting power, it's impacting your energy and vitality, and it's also interrupting your inner peace. So here we have Archangel Azrael. Did anyone come to the Azrael attunement last month? Oh my gosh, it was so powerful and so beautiful. And Azrael here, he is the angel that helps to lift our pain and carry it away to the light so that we can be lighter and that we can see what our guidance is. We can tune into what's important rather than the fear, the worry, the stress, which most of the time isn't real. It's stuff that we're projecting, we're creating it, but it feels real and our body doesn't know the difference. So there are endings happening right now which are leading to new beginnings, and Archangel Azrael is asking you to go with the flow, to notice what's not working anymore for you and let it go, knowing that there is something better waiting to come in. Everything has a season, everything has a shelf date, a sell-by date. And that's the nature of life. The flowers don't flower all year long. They go through a period of incubation, right, before they can flower again in the spring. So it's the same for us. There's parts of our lives that are now ready to die away, and your resistance to that, your struggle, you're trying to hold on to that, is holding you back. So we're going to do a surrender after this reading, if you want to stick around. Isn't that beautiful? So what are you holding too tightly to? And by that I mean mentally gripping onto, obsessing over, overthinking. Okay, here's the guidance card. Now in this card we've got a figure, and he's looking into several different mirrors, and he's holding up his light, and it's the number 5. So 5s are all about change. So if you see 555, the angels are saying a big change is coming. I didn't look at the numbers of the last couple because they were major arcana. We've got a 10 and an 8. So a 5 is letting us know that change is coming, and you have to consciously focus on peace. Focus on peaceful thoughts, positive thoughts. I am strong, I am peaceful, I am prosperous. To counteract the negativity that might be coming at you. Remind yourself of the strength and the light within yourself. Remind yourself of times when you have succeeded, when you have, when you're proud of yourself, things that you've done. And don't allow yourself to be diminished by the reflections of the ego that might be coming at you. So sometimes other people who are feeling we're calling this an awakening at the moment, right? There's lots of light flooding into the planet. There's lots of a raising of consciousness. And sometimes that's difficult because we have to look at things that we haven't wanted to look at before, like climate change, right? That's a difficult thing to look at. We don't like looking at it. It's uncomfortable, it's scary, but we have to see it in order to do something about it. And this is happening on a global level, but it's also happening on a personal level with things in your life. You're being shown things that you need to look at. And for some people who don't want to grow or are afraid or very triggered by that, instead of dealing with their own stuff, they tend to project their anger, their hatred, their fear, their judgment, their guilt outwards, and be rude, be insulting, be hard to deal with. And you're being told very clearly this week by Archangel Michael not to take it on, to remember that people aren't necessarily always mirroring the truth at you. They're mirroring their truth. And it might have a message for you, but it's not the message that you think it is. It might be, okay, this person is a bit radioactive, I need to avoid them, or I need to put better boundaries up, or I need to think more positively about myself and not let people put me down. I need to hold on to my worth. So what is being reflected at you at the moment, and what's the message in it for you? It's not necessarily the fact if someone says, oh, you're a bad person, that isn't, the reflection isn't, oh, you're a bad person, all right? So look out for conflict, for people with opposing opinions, people getting riled up because the energy is kind of triggering at the moment, and stay shining your own light. Now is the time to be even more loving, more peaceful, use your affirmations, use your energy tools. It's needed, don't go the other way. And this is Archangel Jeremiah, so it's a crossroads leading to change. So positive change is really coming, and I really like that for you. The outcome card, so it's not an easy week, but there's a lot that can be gained. The outcome card is exactly what we want. Your wishes coming true, dreams coming to fruition. So it's like we're getting a masterclass from the universe. The masterclass is Spirituality 101. Stay in your power, shine your light, use your mind to create positive. Doesn't mean that you're going to be able to control the world. You can't do that with your mind, but you can actually create an aura, an energetic field of love and peace and abundance around you, no matter what's going on out there. You have to hold strong to your powers, your boundaries, to your worth. This is Archangel Uriel. He's represented by the genie. Look at that. All of the dreams are floating around in the smoke from his magic lamp. And he's saying, you need to wish. What are you wishing for? Because if the genie appeared in front of you and said you have 7 wishes, or you have 777 wishes, right? What are those wishes? And you just went, oh, I don't mind, just send me anything. I mean, you could get anything. You don't want that. There are things that you actually want. So you actually need to ask for them. Your wish is my command. That's the universe, that's the angels. So what are you wishing for? Write it down. Put it in the comments. When you express, this is why I do a sacred visioning circle when I go to Uluru with my retreat. When you express your heartfelt desires, your sacred vision in a group with like-minded people, or anywhere really, and people are allowed to hear what your wishes are. The universe hears, the angels hear, but you create more power because the people who love you, who are with you, who are standing in that sacred vision circle with you, they add their vision, their power to yours. They can see you driving that car, they can see you getting that job, they can see you marrying your soulmate or healing your health, creating that successful business. They see it, they hold that vision. That's the power of groups and of spiritual like minds. And being containing with your sharing is that you don't share with people that are just going to go, oh yeah, throw a wet blanket. Like, no, they're not the people that are safe to share with. But when you're with your people you trust, you share it, that's actually adding power to your wishes and dreams. So you can add them here because this is a safe place. Hi Kenneth, hi Natalie, hi Lisa. see everyone here. Hello, hello. Hi Mary in South Australia, and Lisa in Virginia, and Nellie in Queensland. Hi. US in Texas. Cara, Amelia. Hey Jessica. I can't remember, Jessica, are you in New Hampshire or are you in Massachusetts? And Yana. Hi, Yana in Australia. So let's see what Archangel Michael had to say. Now this is double whammy. Archangel Michael came up with, look at this. You don't even need to read the words of this one. Look at what is he doing? He's holding an arrow, a bow and arrow, and he's pointing at a target. And what that is saying is that it doesn't matter what is going on out there. You have to keep focused on what your intentions are, what you want to create, what you want to manifest. And even if you can only give it 5 minutes a day for the next 7 days, by the time next Monday comes, you are going to be so much closer to that dream, that vision. Whereas if you just gave up and said, okay, I had a bad day on Monday, this happened, that happened, I'm just giving up, then you're not going to be any closer to what you want. You might even be further away. So use your tools. And interestingly, another card came out, which was spend more time outdoors. You know what, I had to step out to an appointment this morning before this session, which I don't usually do. I usually get myself ready. And I'm so glad I did, because I was in the fresh air and I was in that, looking at the sun and seeing all the water, the sun glinting on the ocean. And I just felt uplifted by that. So get out in nature, because we know nature helps us to connect with our angels and to clear negative energies from our energetic field. It really, really, really helps. So what are your wishes that are going to be fulfilled? Big picture stuff is good. Yes, absolutely. So what's the tightness in your belly? Lisa's to get the house you viewed on Saturday. Beautiful. Hold that vision really strongly and then ask what guidance, what action steps you need to take to make that come true. And, keep positive, stay positive with that. So we were going to talk about, while you're writing down your wishes to be fulfilled, I'll add energy to that. When I read the comments later, I will hold that vision for you as well. If you want. Everything is falling into place for my new business ventures. Yes. So we're going to talk a little bit about surrender. And surrender, you remember that card that came out in the block position? Here we go. Archangel Azrael. Look at his arms. His arms are outstretched. I just get peace from this image. And this is about when you're worried about something, you're overthinking, you're stressing. And then it just feels like when you go into that, it just feels like one thing after another, after another, after another just comes at you, because you're holding too tightly to the fear, to the worry, to the stress. And even if you've got something positive like your new business venture, the house that you want to manifest, you can hold too tightly to that, and then you're kind of stopping the angels and the universe from intervening, because you are trying to control the situation. So when something is playing on your mind a lot, when you go into worry, fear, you need to surrender. And to surrender just means I'm not giving up. It just means I'm taking it out of my mental, emotional, psychological grasp, and I'm giving it to God and the angels, knowing that when I let go, I allow for universal energies and spiritual energies to intervene and take care of it for me. Whereas if I cling to what I'm thinking about, if I hold on to it, I try to control it, I overthink it, I'm actually making it worse. I'm adding more fear energy, I'm adding more problems, and I'm not allowing universal energies to intervene. And it feels so good to surrender, because and you might need to do it 20 times a day. It doesn't matter, right? As long as you do it, is to just say, hey, Archangel Michael, guardian angels, take this from me, so that I am not gripping it too tightly. Help me to release my fears, my anxieties. Please clear the energy and look after it. Give me guidance. Work on this for me. And while you do that, I'm going to go and do something else. And that means for the next 10 minutes, hour, 2 days, 2 months, you stop thinking about it, or every time you do think about it in a negative way, you hand it back over again. And then you wait for divinely guided action. And divinely guided action means that you will take a step towards what you want when it feels like the right thing to do. Now, it might be, if you're applying for something like a house or a job, the divinely guided action, like you've actually got to fill in the forms, you've got to let people know that you're interested, you've got to buy, something for your interview, whatever it is, you've got to do the things that need to be done. You can't just surrender and say, oh, I'll probably just get the job and I won't even have to go for an interview. You've still got to fill in the forms. But then there might be other action that you're given. Divine guidance might come through for you to, go get a massage the day before your interview so that you're more relaxed. Or divine guidance might come through to give that friend a call who works for the company to ask for some tips. Whatever it is, if it comes up, it's positive and repetitive, you need to take action on it. And that will magnetize what you want to come to you in a peaceful way, not in a fearful, controlling way. Also, while you're surrendering, if you say affirmations and do visualizations and prayers for the outcome, not for the fear stuff, but for the outcome, you see yourself as already having it. I'm so happy and grateful now that I have this job, this house, this business. And that means you're adding extra positive energy instead of extra fear energy. So that's what surrender means. So surrendering is really important because we as humans think that we control everything, that it's all up to us, that we're alone, that we're struggling with this thing and no one else can help us or is helping us. And it's not true. We forget that we have divine beings who are helping us and want to help us, but they won't interfere in our divine free will because we have a choice. We can accept their assistance and ask for it, or we can ignore it, dismiss it, move away from it. So they're never going to force us into their help, accepting their help, and they're also not going to interfere in our decisions because we have free will. It's a divine gift. But I love that we have divine free will, but I also really, really appreciate that we've got angels that we can ask for help as well along the way. So your surrender card to do with your tight belly, yeah. So how about we do a quick surrender? And this is something I love to do. If you just imagine what you've got going on at the moment. It could be multiple things that you've got on your mind. And just say, angels, I'm ready to surrender this into your divine and capable hands. And then just imagine that your angels come down and they're holding a big basket in front of you. They've come down carrying this basket, and they want you to mentally and emotionally put in the basket what it is that you need to surrender. So I'm going to put in there my over busy day. You might want to put in the worry that you've got, the stress. So just imagine it like black clouds or bricks or clods of dirt coming out of your energy, maybe out of your belly, Natalie, and putting them into the basket. You can even mime it if you want to, or you can use your breath. And any worries you've got about loved ones, about health, about anything at all, just imagine, those worries. So maybe see your loved ones sitting in the basket or whatever you're concerned about. And when you feel like you've emptied everything in there, and you have to make an agreement that I'm going to let go of my over control of this, my attempts to try and control. Because really, we don't control anything. We think we do, but we don't. And I'm going to hand this over to divine will for the highest possible outcome, to come to me in the most loving, most peaceful way. Thank you, angels, for taking this from me. And then to see the basket being lifted up and away, and just keep watching that basket go until it's out of your mental, emotional grasp. Thank you, angels. And if you could please replace all of this stress, all of this worry with white divine light. Thank you. And imagine your body being filled up with light. And we know that white light is all colors. That's why the angels sometimes appear as white light orbs, because they're all the colors of the rainbow, the full spectrum of the light frequency. Doesn't that feel better? My goodness. Makes things less noisy in your head. Now you can do that as often as you like. Another surrender tip I have is that I have a little box. I don't have it with me, but it's just a little jewelry box, and I keep a notepad and pen next to it. And when I need to surrender, I'll just write, "Dear angels, please help me deal with this." Fold up the piece of paper, put it in the box, and it's like posting a letter to the angels. And psychologically, it's really good for you because it's literally your ego knows you're doing something about the thing instead of nagging you about it all the time. Spiritually, energetically, it's very powerful because, again, you're surrendering, which allows angels full intervention. And sometimes when I go through that box, months later, I'll go, "Oh, that's fixed, oh, I don't even remember writing that note." Everything is sorted. So things come about in powerful ways, but sometimes we have to surrender. So much goop came out. Oh, you're so welcome. You're so welcome, my lovely friend. Yeah, beautiful. Thank you so much, everyone. So, listen, I'm writing an article today which is about light workers, and I was thinking about this over the weekend. So, very, very quickly, change of subject. I'm thinking about, there's probably a few different stages of being a light worker. So a light worker is someone who is here to make a difference in the world. You're here to shine your light. You work for God and the angels, basically. Even if you work in another job or for another person, your ability to share love, to give words of wisdom and messages of light, or just to give people a smile and uplift their day, comes, from the divine, your divine soul mission that you have. And I think light workers fall into three categories. One is the awakening light worker. So that's when you suddenly have an event, maybe an accident, maybe a loss, or a spiritual experience, like an angel appearing in front of you, where you suddenly realize, oh, there's more to life than just the physical work for a living, physical world. And sometimes that awakening happens in a shocking way. You might lose someone, and that forces you to be more spiritual in a way. You start to learn more about the spirit realm because you want to connect with your loved one. Like me, I had a near car accident, but I heard the angels tell me to slow my car just before I hit those cars, and I didn't hit them because the angels said stop. That was my awakening. But other people might just suddenly start seeing signs like 111, or be synchronistically given a spiritual book that just makes them go wow, and it changes their life. It doesn't matter how your awakening comes, it's the beginning of your journey which turns you towards spirituality. So that's the awakening light worker. Then you've got the light seeker, the person who is seeking more information. That means you love meditating, you love reading, anything about spirituality. You're looking maybe for your life purpose. You're looking to find out which guides are with you, which angels are with you. And you just can't get enough. You're in the learning phase. So that's when you're a light seeker, and that's a beautiful place to be. And it makes you feel like all I want to do is learn about angels and spirituality. And I think light workers, no matter what stage you're at, always stay at some level, at that level, because it's just such a joy, to go and learn and go to workshops and attend programs and read books about spirituality. It lifts you up, it supports you. So that's the light seeker. And then the third level is light worker, where you actually start to work for God and the angels. You work for spirit. And that means you choose a career or a business or even you do it voluntarily in your spare time, if you're at retirement age or you don't need to work, where you just want to share the message with others. Maybe you're a psychic reader or an angel messenger, an angel medium. Maybe you are a massage therapist or a Reiki therapist, or in some way, it doesn't matter, there's a whole range, any kind of healer. in some way you're sharing your light. Maybe you feel guided to write a book, start a business. Maybe your business isn't spiritual, but you are running it in a spiritual way, and you know that the light you share, like Natalie, in your business, your spiritual practices and tools that you use are impacting people through what seems like a non-spiritual business, but it is a spiritual way. I've got lots of clients who work for government, who are teachers, who are diplomats, who are people that on the surface you would never know, but they're actually very powerful light workers, and they keep in contact with God and the angels all the time, and they use those principles in the work that they do. It's like undercover light workers. So that's when you, instead of being a seeker, you're moving into, all right, now it's time. And you might see things like 999 a lot, because that means it's time for you to get to work. It's time for you to find your purpose and to share the light. And there is another level where light workers who have worked for a long time are now ready to step back from that role a little bit more. And maybe they do something different. Maybe they do write that book. Maybe they write some courses. Or maybe they become a guide for other light workers. Or they retire from it, but their vibration is so high that they're helping to raise the vibration of the planet by just through their own spiritual practices. So where do you think you are on that? Are you awakening? Are you seeking? Or are you light worker, spiritual business, or in a career where you're sharing your light with others? Or are you in the retirement phase where your light is so bright that you're raising the vibration of the planet? I'd love to know. I think it's really cool. Oh, you're so welcome. You're so welcome. All right, I feel like I've talked enough. I'm going to drop that, and then I'm going to leave, because I know I talk a lot in these sessions, but I do so enjoy connecting with you. I'm going to start doing YouTube videos, like a podcast, where I'm sharing some information from the angels and about different aspects of spirituality. So go over and follow me on my YouTube channel. I already share these videos there every week, but I think it's time to go to the next level. So that's what I'm doing. Starting this week, I'm going to do a video a week on YouTube. Yay! So that means I get to spend more time with you. As you know, I also go over onto Instagram in a while, and I do the reading again, and I add an extra card to it. So if you want to join me on Instagram, it's a different vibe. I won't talk about all the things I talked about here. And otherwise, I will see you through the week, and hopefully I'll see you for the Lightworker activation, which is on Friday the 16th of September. So join me for that. It's just 90 minutes on Zoom, or you get lifetime access to the replay. And we're going to be working with Archangels Michael and Gabriel to activate your life purpose, clear blocks and energy, things like imposter syndrome, invisibility syndrome. Oh my gosh, so many light workers like to hide themselves. Poverty and scarcity mentality, feeling fear about being persecuted. We're clearing all of that so that you can just get on with your life purpose. So I'm excited for that. I will see you soon. Angel blessings. I love you. Yay. Yay for light workers. Yes. Seeking light worker, undercover but not. Thanks, and I'm so glad you feel lighter. I am so glad that you feel lighter.